Able Honorable Adam Barre Duale, the other invited guest, all protocol observed. Assalamu alaikum once again. We will be having a short presentation. We'll begin with Abdurrahman Hilole, a very young, energetic man. Come forward. Then he will welcome our chief guest and the other invited guests. Will be followed by Abdi Jabbar with a
Having
poem
a short
African
presentation.
We'll begin with
be
followed
Abdurrahman
by
Hilole,
team from Dre,
a very young, energetic man.
a short
Come forward.
Somali play. Then he will welcome our chief guest and the other.
يا مرحبا يا مرحبا مرحبا يا مرحبا بكم يا مرحبا ذات تبذير وإسراف وإن تكن مرحبا إكثارها صرف فليس إكثارها فيكم بإسراف عليكم يا أحبتنا السلام وأتحفكم برحمته السلام وبواكم مساكن طيبة تحية من تبوى السلام فالسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أود أن أغتنم هذه الفرصة لأرحب بكم جميعا في هذه المناسبة الجميلة التي جمعت خريجي مدرستنا العظيمة، وهذا يرسل رسالة قوية إلى طلاب نفس المركز التعليمي الذين لم تسع لهم الفرصة أن ينضموا إلينا اليوم، والأجيال اللاحقة الذين قد يدرسون هناك في المستقبل. وأود أيضا أن أشكر ضيف الشرف سعادة وزير البيئة والتغيرات المناخية آدم بر دعالة على مشاركته معنا وبذل وقته الثمين على الرغم من جدول أعماله الضيق. وفي الختام نسأل الله أن يرزقنا برحمته في الدنيا والآخرة. شكرا لكم جميعا وبارك الله فيكم في نزولكم وترحالكم.
Okay, that was Abdurrahman Hilole. He will be followed by Abdi Jabbar with the poem African Child.
In front of you is a student from Garissa High School, ready to present to you a poem entitled African Child. I am an African child, born with the skin, the color of chocolate, bright, brilliant, and articulate, strong and bold. I'm gifted, talented enough to be the best. I am an African child. Often the target of pity, my future is not confined to charity. Give me the gift of a lifetime. Give me a dream, a door of opportunity. I will thrive. I am an African child. Do not hide my wrong. Show me my wrong. I'm like any other. Teach me to dream and I will become. I am an African child. We are the new generation, not afraid to be us, uniquely gifted, black and talented, shining like the stars we are. We are the children of Africa, making the best of us. Yes, I am an African child. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Abdi Jabbar. Without wasting time, I call from three members present a short Somali play. It has multiple themes that now are all talking about or touching current issues affecting the Somali community wherever they are, not only in Northeastern, but the entire world.
marti sharafka mudane aadan barre ducaale oo ah wasiirka deegaanka iyo isbeddelka cimilada martida kale ee casuume oo ugu horeeyo mudane nadiif jaamac aadan oo ah gabanaha Garissa County ardaydii hore maamulka macallimiinta ardayda mudane ali marooy assalaamu calaykum salaan kadib waxaa farxad weyn inoo ah inaan maanta isugu imaano kulan noocan ah oo looga hadlayo horumarka Garissa High School hortiina waxaa taagan arday ka socoto dugsiga sare ee Garissa High School oo ah dugsiga aad ka aflaxdeen arday badan oo maanta bulshada dhowr ahna ay idinkaga dambeeyeen aan ku bilownay geyiga Soomaalida maanta ma aha sida aad ku ogeydeen barisamaadkii waxaa ka taagan daneen la'aan dhanka waxbarashada si guud dhanka kale ardayda qaarkood iyo waalidiinta ayaa aad u kala fog fikrad ahaan marka laga hadlayo iswaafajinta waxbarashada iyo nolosha casriga ee la joogo waxaan halkan idinku soo gudbinaynaa bandhig gaaban oo arrinka taabanaya si ay bulshada ay dib ugu laabato qaabkay u qaabilaan la jaanqaadayo waayaha cusub dhaqankii Soomaalidana aanan ka tegin afeef bandhigan kama turjumayo fikirka ardayda soo bandhigayso ee waa wacyigelin baaqa jira barnaamijayso soo dhawaada
waxaa laga hayaa abwaan aadan xaaji afqalooc inuu yidhi oday waayo aragaan ahoo ayni weyn jira ahe marka aad wadka bootahay tashi waa in kaa maqan ahe wixii dan ah abwaanaa gartee inama waa moogee inaan idin waaniyaa waa amuur xaq ahe ardaye aqoonsada cilmiga aafo waa jaahale ijtihaad idinka horkii carlada Soomaaliyeed ma aflo xilmaha caasiyo edabta diidaay
midkalay istarax malaha waayada cilmiga aad u dalabtaay adkaysiga wuxuu ka rabaa dadaal loo agaasimee akhris iyo dhigaal buuro loo abaalheliyay
mid kalena wuxuu yidhi aqoon-yahanku abidkii waa inuu edab lahaadaaye 14 suuradood iyo akhbaartooda aayad oo inuu marin una asteeyaaye axaadiista oo inuu yaqaan iyo asxaabtiye
niman yahow waxaad dhahaysaan maan fahmin waxaad moodaa inaad nagula hadlaysaan afqalaad ee bal inoo jilciya warkiina
hadalka nuxurkiisa waa inaan wax baranno si aan caalamka kale ula tartanno bulshadana wax ugu tarno ma hadalka nacfiban ayaad noo haysaan aan dhagaa kugu amaahinna
hadalka aan idinka dhexgale bulsho loo adeegay ima muuqato waa dad wada dhashay oo haddana isku maran abaar iyo aaranba birta ayayna iska aslaan maalin aan la keena ee maxaan caalam kula tartannaa
waqtigaaga caana lagu qabay waxaan soo xasuustay gabaygii aboongamaadid ee ahaa Soomaalidu habaar bay qabtaa waana la hubaaye intay dunida heerka afkii kor u hayaamaysay ayaa iyo tollaay bay wadatan iyo haadiide waa kuwa adduunyada ka haray haddina maayaane maantun baan hadallo wanaagsan idinka maqlaaya weli wax miska weydiiseen waxbarashada liidato ee gobolka waqooyi bari may idiin muuqataa saamaynta xun ee ka dhalan doonta mustaqbalka dhow
si wanaagsan ardaydii waxaa ku yaraaday dadaalka waxay noo hayaameen xerooyinka qaxootiga oo ay aaminsan yihiin in inta wax farsameeyaan buundooyin wanaagsanna kala imaanayaan waana arrin aan laga lug bixi doono jiil idilna uu ku lumi doono
waxaan u fahmay in la waayi doono dhakhaatiir macallimiin injineero iyo howladano taale haddii aan arrinka wax iska weydin hoggaaniya bulshaba oo aan runta laysu sheegin
Soomaalida waxaa lagu yaqiinay inay dacab dacabto ee ha isaga laabto dawladareedkeeda hore mise dabbaas la dhacday inay dhakhtar damboobtee lasoo saarto uga dhammaatay
waxbarasho ayaad nagu wareeysaan ee mala socotaan miyaa wax tahriib la yidhaahdo inuu jiro oo waddamada reer galbeedka loo wada yaacayo halkaasina loogu tegaayo lacag meel weliba daadsan qofkuna uu habeen qura taajirku noqonayo aqoon iyo la-aanteedaba
waa sababta waayadan dambe aniga saaxiibkay aan derbiga iskuulka uga boodayno si aan hadhow uga harin ummadda ka boodaysa derbiga dheer ee u dhexeeyo Mexico iyo Mareykanka darsi inaan dhegaysto daay hurdo malado oo habeen weliba waxaan dhigaa qorshaha tahriib iyo sidaan uga bixi lahaa caqabadaha ku gadaaman
anigu waxaan ahay budo gooni u tuman waxbarasho iyo taariikh midna ma socdo waxaan la xanuunsanahay jacayl la mid ah kii dila cilmi boodari hadduuba ka daray marka macallinka darsi sharaxayo waxaa ii muuqatay gabadha aan jeclaa oo waxaan yidhaahdaa mashaqo waa tan oo kale iyo murugo ciilkeed qofkii meel fog kaa jiro maanku raacay
halkaas kaga hay noloshu waa bilaadhadan haddii aan caashaq lagu kabin aniga waxaan baadigoob ugu jiraa gabadha aan jeclahay oo meel fog iga muuqanayso mar weliba oo aan maagay inaan buug kala furo sawirkada ayaa iisoo fulaya baalasha buwaagta markaas ayaan dhahaa waayaha adduunka ina kala fogeeyo anna kali ahaantay u adkaysan maaye umal baa la tiicaa isma dhaana adige indhahay noorkay ku urdoogsadeeno aadna ha isu kayladin
waxaan maqli jiray dhalinyaro intay ood ka boodaaye tale ka boodaaye adduunka sidan ma sii ahaan doono waalid iyo walaal sidan idiin garab taagan mar weliba lama helaayo waxaan idinku dardaarminayaa riyo maalmeedka intaa ka baxdaan fursadda waxbarasho ka faa'iidaystaan laf iyo dhagax in laisku helo ma dhacdo
aniga waan idinka duwanay dhammaantiin waxaan dadaal ugu jiraa inaan wax barto balse dhiirigelin kama haysto waalidiintayda maadaama ay miyii ku nool yihiin joogitaankayga magaaladana wuxuu ula muuqdaa nacasnimo
waxaan isku ogaanaynaa waa waxbarasho iyo tacliim si uuna tacabkeenu u noqono mid khasaaray hadalkuna waxaan kusoo xiraynaa adduunyadu tacliin iyo cilmi ayaa lagu tanaaday kuwa samada tegay waa aqoon waxay ku tooqaane tartan bay ku gaareen halka kuna tisqaadeen soo dhawaada
okay waxaan kusoo gabagabeynaynaa riwaayadda ugu dambeysay aad wada maqasheen ee ka hadlaysay wacyiga guud ee ka taagan geyiga soomaalida guud ahaan gaar ahaan gobolka aan kasoo jeednay ee waqooyi bari marka waa howl noo taallo inaan ka wada tashanno ka hadalno mustaqbalkana aan xal waaro u helno waa mahadsantihiin soo dhawaada
A huge round of applause for the boys. They have really, really done well. Thank you everyone for coming to this great event. I can't thank you enough. We will have a huge, huge event later in the year, hopefully, which will be a fundraising and to help the school. I want to take this opportunity now to hand over to someone who has been working tirelessly for this event to happen. Honorable Ayam Salat. مكرمشين تفضل.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Garissa High School All Boys Association, I'm an alumni association. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank the CS for Environment, Forestry and Climate Change, Honorable Adan Baredwale, for agreeing to officiate this function, which brings together students, former students of the great Garissa High School. This event is a very, very important event. In fact, the people present here are the people who are the cream of the society we live in. We have got, as Asmali said, many professionals here, politicians, businessmen, CEOs, doctors, professors, generals, ministers, governors, all sectors of the society represented here. And this is the product of a school which all of us attended, and I think we should be very grateful to our teachers and our parents for taking us through that education which made us today what we are. I want to acknowledge, I cannot acknowledge the presence of everybody because some of them even I don't know them. Me, I'm an old boy. I was in Form 1 in 1974. I think many of you, some of you were born much later than 74. And they did my O-level in 1977. I just want to show you one picture here. I think you can display it. Where is that group photo? That's what we found in our archives. That's the only photo we were able to retrieve from the archives of former students of Garissa High School. That photo, can you zoom that one? Are you able to zoom? I want you to, anybody who can recognize anybody in that photo. Anybody who can recognize, this is class of 1977. Where those who did K, used to be called East African Certificate of Education. Now, I want to just show you 1 or 2 or 3 members who are here. And I think when I point them, they should stand. And you compare them with that photo. The person who is sitting on the right, who is sitting very majestically, in a very good style. On the right, sitting, you know. Can you anybody recognize that person? That's Governor Nadif. That's Governor Nadif. Now, why do you remove that? Yes, so when you go now, number 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th standing with hands akimbo. Can anybody recognize that person? That's Dr. Dabar. The one who is standing behind him with the big hair is not with us today. He sent an apology. It's Dr. Ibrahim Aboy. That tall guy with the big hair. On the right of Dr. Dabar is General Bashir Haji Yusuf. When you move after Bashir, that's Ahmed Abdi Arab, is a Nas. The next one is Abdurrahim Haji Farah, the one with the kofia. Yeah. Where's Abdurrahim Haji Farah? There he is. The next person to him with the glasses, can you anybody identify that person? That's me. The one with the glasses, next to Abdurrahim. Then from the left, the third from the left, the one with the kofia. Can anybody identify that person? That's Man Abdullahi. Man Hajjad. After Man Abdullahi, there is a gentleman who is hidden between 2 guys. His face is not very clear. But that's Muhammad Ibrahim Fai, former minister. They seated down on the left. That one with the V sign, that guy with the big hair. It's Muhammad Ali Clay. Clay, I don't know whether he's here. Clay is there. And I think for those who are present here, those other guys are our teachers. The 2 sitting, one is called William Koroso, who was our Swahili teacher. Ma'alin Siad is on the right, Siad Makina. Anybody who knows Siad Makina? Sheikh Siad. On the left side, back row, left is Yusufo. Yusufo, everybody you know, the late Yusufo, Allahuna Haristo. Then Bruno Abdullah Khair. He was working for the county government. Then seated also, number 3 seated, that brown guy is Sugo Rage. Those who know him. Sugo Rage. And that guy with the big hair is Ismail. It's called Ismail Anjol. He's the brother of Abdel Nasser of Has. I was told he's late. Allah Haris. So this is where we have come from. And I'm sure many of you also have got those kind of photos. And when you look at them and look at yourself now, you say you have come a long way. So thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies. A few ladies who are here. I want to acknowledge and eh? The ladies, there were a few who were there. The ladies, yeah. I think the lady, Dr. Roman, she's the board of management committee. Eh? Abla's not sick, yeah. It's only Abla. Okay. I want first of all to acknowledge the senior or the people who are here, who have graced this occasion today. Besides the minister, we have got the governor, His Excellency Nadif Jama, who we thank him so much for facilitating this function. Then we have Mheshimiwa Mohammed Ibrahim Elmi. We used to call him Fai in school. That is his name. Those who don't know, he's called Fai. In fact, he says that I'm the one who gave him that name, Fai. He was a former minister for Northern Kenya and arid lands. And now, yesterday, he was appointed to a very big position. He's the chairman of, what do you call that position? We have not yet. What was the name of the position given? He was given National Livestock Development Promotion Service chairman. Yesterday he was gazetted, he was in the Kenya Gazette. And I think Minister Duale gazetted him. That was his last day also as acting minister for agriculture and livestock. We have here with us Dr. Ismail Buro, an old boy, the chairman of the University of Eldoret. We have got Hassan Sheikh Mohammed. He was former CEO NCEC and a member of the Garissa University Council. Thank you very much, Balemo. We have got the CEO of Absa Bank, Abdi Mahmoud. Absa used to be called Barclays, and that was my first working place also. Then we have got an apology from CEO Premier Usman Duale. He was late to catch up his flight from Mombasa, but he may join us if he comes in good time. Then we have got CEO of Haas Petroleum, Mohammed Salat. He's here, that young man. Where is he? Oh, then the Uko CEOs wako bade. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Then we have got the CEO Nakonek, Ma'alim Harun Yusuf. He's also a former principal of Garissa High School. Then we have got Khalif Nunde, educationist and 001. He was also in that school. We have got a gentleman who was in the school, and he was in class of 75, Gerard Okune. 76, Gerard. Yes, Gerard Okune, that man. He was also a student in that school. We have got CEO Dr. Abey of National Council for Population Development. Dr. Abey, thank you very much for coming. We have the CEO of the government printer, Abdi Hassan Mjomba, thank you for coming. And all these people have not come because they're CEOs. They have come because they are former students of Garissa High School. So that shows how important this function is, and those who have come. I may not be able to recognize everybody, but we've got CECs here, ministers of the county government, who have been. I can see Mr. Narobi here. I was seeing Ahmed Nadir here. Many others. Yeah, and all of them have been students of that school. Yeah. So, and also the Mheshimiwa Wabura, Mheshimiwa Yaqub. He was also a former student of that school. He told me he was born in 1987, and I told him I was in Parliament in 1988. So you can imagine, you can see the gap. Today he's a leader, and me, I'm a retired leader also. So I want to thank you all for coming. This is a very important function. where we could reconnect with the old friends, old buddies. And because that is where we all passed through to be where we are, I think it's only fair that one time we come together, ask ourselves, thank God, thank the teachers, thank our parents, and then see what we can do for that school. Because that school, the chairman is going to tell you, the alumni population so far is about 11,000, 10,800 students have passed through that school. And the number is increasing. And the current population of the school, I'm told, is about 1,500 students. So you can imagine how stretched that school is, how stretched the facilities are, and how these alumni, who are people of repute, people who are holding, big positions in government and in private sector, can come together, pool resources, and help that school. I think with those few remarks, I want, first of all, before I leave, I want to give some apologies from some members. Let me also recognize former principals of the school who are here. We have got Muhammad Ibrahim, Ma'alim Muhammad Ibrahim, former principal of the school. Ma'alim Harun, we have mentioned him. Alexander Njue, who was the first African headmaster of that school, unfortunately could not join us. He sent an apology. Ma'alim Idris, who was also the first African, I think, deputy principal, he also sent an apology. Professor Warfa has also sent an apology. Then we have got Abdi Maulid. I don't know what is here. Ma'alim Abdi Maulid. So Abdi Maulid is also there. And then I've got apologies from Honorable Salah Yaqub, MP for Fafi. And I've also had apology from Dr. Mohammed of KRA, the Commissioner KRA, who's unable to be with us here, and Usman Duale. I also want to recognize the Regional Director of Education, Mr. Roble, Regional Director of Education, Northeastern Region. Thank you very much. I think with those few remarks, I appreciate every other person who's here. And those who I've not mentioned, you'll excuse me because I'm not able to cover all the people who are here. So it's my now pleasure to invite the chairman of the Alumni Association, Teacher Ilyas Jama', he's an old boy of the school, to come and give his remarks. Ilyas? Oh, you're here. Yeah, come. Give a good remark. He's the chairman of the association.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alumni, hamjambo. Sema inua mikono tujue wote mko wazima. Leo ni ile siku ya kukutana na furaha na kukumbatiana na kukumbuka yale yaliyopita. This is just off the cuff. When we were doing our planning, Mheshimiwa, we asked Asmali, why were you given the name Asmali? And with this permission, I want to say it here in the alumni team. Asmali told me he liked Asmali so much. Of course, the school was just providing Asmali. And he would come round 1, round 2, round 3, hiding from the cook. But somehow the cook was so observant, and he said, "Wariya Asmali abis badina adiga." So those in the queue with him started laughing and calling him the name. He was getting annoyed and fighting them and all this. Eventually, the nickname became so strong. And now he says he wants to reward those who gave him that name because it's a brand name of his business. Our chief guest of honor, Hon Aden Duale, Cabinet Secretary, Environment, Climate Change, and Forestry. His Excellency, Nadif Jama', the Governor of Garissa County, Honorable Dekho, Honorable Ayub, sorry, I missed Yaqub, sorry. All protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, friends, and well-wishers. It is a great honor to stand before you today on this momentous occasion as we officially launch the Garissa High School Alumni Association. This is indeed a milestone in the history of this great institution, a moment that not only celebrates our past but also shapes the future of Garissa High School. Garissa High School, as many of you know, was established in 1969 as the Harambee School. With its transformation into government secondary school taking place in 1971. Over the years, this institution has grown from humble beginnings to become a beacon of hope and a symbol of academic excellence, not only in the region but nationally. Today, we are proud to have an alumni membership that exceeds 11,860. This is a testament to the impact of Garissa High School has had on its students and the broader community. The launch of Garissa High School Alumni Association marks the beginning of exciting new chapter in the school's rich history. It is a celebration of the many accomplishments of this institution. I think I will stop there first and recognize. Nitanyamaza kidogo kwa sababu mwalimu wetu ameingia. Maale Diris, karibu kwa mkono mkunjufu, wanafunzi wako wote wako hapa. Maanta macallimiintayn waa inaan u duceynaa. Intii asaga ka bilaabato ilaa ugu dambayso ninka hadda joogo. I will continue. Today we are proud to have an alumni membership, that I had gone through. The launch of the Garissa High School Alumni Association marks the beginning of an exciting new chapter in the school's rich history. It is a celebration of the many accomplishments of this institution and the remarkable individuals it has produced. Individuals who have gone to become leaders in various fields including politics, CEOs, doctors, engineers, army generals, teachers, pilots, and other disciplines, both in Kenya and internationally. These are people who have served with distinction in critical positions contributing to the development of our nation and beyond. We salute them all. Ladies and gentlemen, Garissa High School has undergone tremendous transformation over the years, evolving from a small regional institution to its current status as a national school. This transformation has had a profound impact on the lives of thousands of students, many of whom come from nomadic communities, offering them opportunities for education that would otherwise be out of reach. The school has played a pivotal role in shaping the futures of these students, empowering them with knowledge and skills to thrive in an increasingly competitive world. The formation of the Garissa High School Alumni Association is not just about looking back at our shared experiences and reconnecting with the old friends. It is about giving back to the school that played a key role in shaping who we are today. It is about coming together as alumni to reinvest in the future of Garissa High School through a variety of initiatives, including infrastructure development, mentorship programs, inspirational talks, and by serving as role models to current and future students. As we all know, while Garissa High School is a national school, it is still facing significant infrastructure challenges that need to be addressed in order to meet the demands of the modern education system. particularly with the introduction of the competency-based curriculum. These challenges present us with an opportunity to come together as alumni to contribute to our time, resources, and experience to ensure that the school remains a center of excellency for generations to come. I call upon all alumni to unite in support of our school to ensure that Garissa High School continues to produce well-rounded, successful individuals who can make meaningful contributions to society. Together, we can create a lasting legacy that will benefit future generations of students as well as the broader community. Before I conclude, I want to appreciate and thank His Excellency Nadif Jama, who has sponsored this function today fully. We want to say, Governor, thank you very much. May God bless you and your team. And at this juncture, I would have requested the officials from the county government, the CECs and chief officers, if you are around, please just stand up so that you can be seen. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, thank you very much. I would like also to take a moment to express our sincere appreciation to our distinguished guest of honor, Honorable Adam Duale, the Cabinet Secretary, for graciously accepting our invitation to join us today. Your presence here, sir, adds a great significance to this occasion, and we are truly honored by your support. I would also request the 1975 law to stand up. My team. My team 72-75. 72-75. No, just stand up and wave. Okay, I have Hassan Sheikh here and Ismail Duale. Oh yes, and Farah Sheikh Mohammed. We are the lot who started that school and welcomed many of you here, including Waziri, Fai, and many others. Actually, some of you were so small when they came to the school, and we were helping them not to be bullied. I don't want to mention names. In closing, I once again extend a warm welcome to all of you. Let us seize this opportunity to reconnect, reminisce, and most importantly, come together with a shared vision of supporting and advancing the legacy of Garissa High School. Thank you, and may this day mark the beginning of a brighter future for Garissa High School. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Alumni Association, Garissa Alumni Association. I also want to recognize the presence of Umar Sheikh, the CEO of the Habshil. He's here with us also. Thank you very much. We have also with us here the County Commissioner Kajiado, Jama Mahmoud. County Commissioner Kajiado. Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Sorry, I forgot to introduce the officials, the alumni officials. Apologies. The chairman is myself, the Secretary General Ismail Duale, Hassan Sheikh Mohammed, the treasurer. These are the old guys. The committee members, I am Salat, Abdurrahman Godad, Saadi Noor, Muhammad Ali Sheikho, Dr. Ismail Buro, and Robles Saeed Nuno. Thank you very much.
Also in our presence is Dr. Abdi Karim Ibrahim Abdo. He's the Regional Director, Kenya Bureau of Standards. Regional Director, NEP, Kenya Bureau of Standards. So a lot of big shots of GSS are still coming in. I want also to appreciate the MP for Garissa Township, Honorable Major Dego. He has been, in fact, instrumental in the formation of this, for this alumni association. And he has helped us a lot. He has pushed us to form, this institution so that we can be able to come together and see what we can do for our old school. Without taking much time, I now want to invite the principal of the school, teacher Mohammed Dubbat. Come and give it to us.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, and may peace and blessings be upon our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Today I stand in front of you to just give a brief about the school. First of all, I want to thank our CS, Honorable Aden Duale, who was a former student of Garissa High School. I also want to recognize our Governor, Honorable Nadif, His Excellency Nadif, who was also a student of that school. Honorable Yaqub, we have been speaking, but I've seen him today. Thank you very much. Karibu. Honorable Elmi was my MP in Wajir when I was teaching Wajir High School. In fact, he one time gave me a letter congratulating me to be the best teacher of that year. I was teaching business studies. The mean score was 11 points. So that was the best that was achieved up to now. It has not been broken. Thank you very much. Karibuni nyote, Honorable Deko, and my teacher, Mali Idris, was my principal when I was in GSS in 1984. Thank you very much. May God give you long life and a lot of, He has given you a long life, and may He give you shifa. So first and foremost, I want to thank all of you for finding time to be here and getting some time out of your busy schedule. Bona CS, you lead the pack. Thank you very much. Number two, I want to ask ourselves, why this launch? Why are we launching this thing? Many principals before me tried. They tried their best. However, they were not able to launch it because it was not the will of Allah for it to be launched during their time. I know Ma'al Ibrahim, Muhammad Ibrahim, tried best. Ma'al Harun tried his time. Ma'al Abdi Mawlid tried. But it has come today when I'm the principal of this school, the 16th principal of this school. So we are launching for different purposes. Number one is to strengthen the relationship between the alumni of the school and the school itself. Many of us leave the school, then we don't come back. So we want to have a situation whereby we are always with the school, whether we are outside the school or inside the school, so that we can be able to mentor our boys. And nowadays, the young people need to be talked to always. So we need some of you to go back. I know some of you who left in 1970s have never gone back there. So we are launching this so that we can be able to allow you to come there always as old boys of this school. The other is to share experiences with the students and non-students. The other reason why we are launching is to create a reconnect. Many of you left in 1970s, but you have never seen one another. Today, some of you are crying, seeing your old friend whom you have not seen maybe for 40 or 50 years. So it's just the reason, some of the reasons why we are launching. Now we want to look at the achievements of the alumni. I know we never had an alumni association. However, the alumni were there. So on your own, you did a lot as persons, individually. Right now, as we speak, our Honorable Duale is sponsoring students. I know 3 of them who are fully sponsored by Mheshimiwa, the CEO, APSA, is sponsoring some students. Our CEO, Nakonek, Mr. Harun, please stand up. I want people to see what you have done. Our CEOs have brought a cooking system which can prepare tea within 15 minutes. You can imagine. You just put it on, within 15 minutes, tea is ready. So he's doing it as an alumni, not as the CEO in Nakonek, but he's doing it as, because there are so many who are competing for the resources. But because he's an alumni, he has done it. So thank you very much. We are not taking it for granted. Githeri is being prepared within 45 minutes. Githeri. Sio ile ya kuweka asubuhi mpaka jioni. 45 minutes chakula yetu iko tayari. And let me assure you, by saa 5 our supper is ready. Na haiwezi kuwa baridi. Usiseme kwamba aruta kwa kudishen. No. It is still hot until you serve it. And that has been done by the alumni. But now we are saying, we are doing now this launch so that we can be able to concert our efforts together. If you can do a lot on your own, if we bring you together, we can do a bigger thing. Sindio? Uliona ile kitu naitwa koranja? The ant can carry a whole cow if they come together. But if it is individual, anakuwa tu kaboy na makoranja, it just bites and then it moves a bit and says, but you can do nothing when you are alone. So we are saying that you are coming together so that you can do things together. After the achievements, we want to see some of the challenges facing the school. As our chairman, the Alumni Association said, we are boasting of an alumni association of more than 11,800 students. We have 1,500 students who are in school. But can you imagine some of the classes are the classes that were used in 1970s? Mr. Ibrahim, the ones that you used are still being used. The domes, Garissa Dome is still in use. Mandera Dome is still in use. Wajir Dome is still in use. I know many of you can recall those domes. They are in use, so we want to change. And I'm happy to announce that Honorable Deco now is coming, and already the project is on. He wants to build a 3-story building so that it can brace those old domes. The dome that is built by Honorable Deco will not be enough for the students in the years to come, because we are expecting to admit about 800 students next year. Now we don't have Form 1s, but next year we'll have more than 800 students being admitted in Form 1. So they need space. There is a challenge because we are changing from the former system to a new system. We need more laboratories because there are only 4 laboratories in the school. We need more laboratories. We need workshops, both metalwork and woodwork. Our computer laboratory is small in size and ill-equipped. There are only 10 computers in the laboratory, the computer laboratory. We had written a letter to APSA. We have not seen something, but I know something will come at the end of the day, inshallah. The library is small. As we speak, it can only accommodate about 150 students. When you talk of 1,500 and only 150 can go into that library, it means there's a gap that is there. So the gap is both in infrastructure and also in the teaching. We have only 58 teachers in the school employed by TSC. Now let's look at some of the I'm the one who put it off. Thank you. We have 58 TSC employed teachers presently. We have 2 teachers who are employed by the BOM. Last year there were 9. However, because of the reduced number of students, we had to release some of the teachers because we don't have money to pay them. We have approximately, as we speak, 1,300 students because we don't have 4 months. We have 36 support staff in the school. We have 1 mosque, which is not enough for the students. And during the rainy season, your mosque in a leak, and then it smells. So can we get somebody who can be able to take up the mosque? We have 4 science laboratories, which are not enough. We have 10 streams, and each stream is supposed to have 1 laboratory. But we have 4 laboratories. We have 12 dormitories, including Mandera, Wajir, Garissa, Kenya, and Marsabit. We have 5 staff quarters. So we can only accommodate 5 teachers in the school at a go, and this is a boarding school. So we need some more staff quarters to accommodate more teachers for us to have control of the students, and we can be able to talk to the boys. We have 1 administration block which was sponsored by the Honorable Duare during his time. That administration block is small. They cannot accommodate all teachers. We have 1 small library, which is also ill-equipped. We have 1 ill-equipped computer laboratory. It has only 10 computers, and also the size is small. We have 110 toilets for the students, and we have 4 for the teachers. So currently, those are the infrastructure that are in place and human resource. What do we intend to achieve by the launch of this? One of them is we want the alumni to influence the school culture. Once we see the CEOs, when we see the governor in the school, when we see the honorable CS in the school, I know the culture of that school will improve to the better. So when Honorable His Excellency Nadif, please, you are most welcome. Just go out of your way, just come, that is your school. And the students will change even psychologically because they know that they have somebody and they have something to lean on. So that is one thing. Another one is working together. When we bring you together and you work together, you can be able to achieve a lot. The alumni, student, teachers, stakeholders relationship. Once we have an alumni which is officially recognized, we'll have a relationship that is going to build the future of that school. I know one time I was seeing one of our own, I can't recall them, one of our, was she a PS who was going to London for her old school? I saw her in the news. So please come back so that we can be able to have better things. Provide mentorship to the boys and sponsor needy and bright students. So in conclusion, I want to thank all of you for finding time for this, for your old school. And I believe the launch is the start of a great thing. Thank you very much. And can we clap for ourselves? Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'alin Dubat. Now I want to call upon, before I go to the leaders, the high table, the chairman of BOM, Board of Management of the school, Hamish Abd. Where are you?
Guest of honor, CS Aden Duale, Governor Nadif Jama, County Government of Garissa, Garissa Township MP, Honorable Teko, MP Bura East, Mr. Honorable Ado, is Bura North? Yeah, thanks. Officials of the alumni, former principals, fellow alumni, teachers and students, Assalamu alaikum. It is my great pleasure to stand in front of you today to attend and take part in this auspicious occasion for the launch of the Garissa Alumni Association, Garissa High School Alumni Association. And before I start my speech, I would like to introduce the BOM, or the Board of Management of Garissa High School. With me here are Mr. Hussein Abdi, Mr. Abdullah Umar, Ahmed Dego, who is the PA chairman. There is Rumana, who is the vice chair. We have Hakima, who is also the BOM member. We have Dr. Kainan, over there. I don't know whether I left anyone around. There is Major, retired Major Ahmed Abdullah. Thank you. So those are the team behind the engine of this institution. And I can tell you, the period we were there for the last 2 years, a lot has been done and a lot has been achieved, including, of course, the bringing together with the collaboration of the Alumni Association of this group here. We have changed a lot in terms of the student discipline, the financial discipline, the projects we have undertaken. I don't know many of you who has recently visited the school. The school has changed in terms of the outlook. We have put a perimeter fence around the school. At least we are about a third of the entire fence. I think that's not a mean achievement. Indeed, it is not just an ordinary fence. It is actually a well done engineering work with a lot of columns and beams meant to last forever. So thank you very much for the team who are with me. I wish to recognize, I think there is one CEO who has not been mentioned, the Gawasco CEO. If you are there, please stand up. I noticed he's there, and I think it's only fair to recognize him. I don't know who else we have not recognized. Our Dr. Abe was mentioned many times, I know. So thank you very much. I think a lot has been said before me by the previous speakers. Mine is just to emphasize the outstanding projects, especially the transition from now 844 to the current CBE, what is normally, it's popularly known as CBC, but it is competence-based education system, CBE. So that CBE now requires a lot of investment. In our strategic plan, we envisaged about 10 projects that are of priority. And I think the principal alluded to this. One of them is, of course, the multipurpose hall. The students have nowhere to meet. You've seen them standing in the open when they have the assembly. We have a workshop. We require a workshop for metal and woodwork. Again, this is a requirement for this new CBC. We need an ICT hub where, you know, new things will be done. There will be what we call AI. There's what we call robotics. These are the new things that are now current in the new system. Additionally, because of the competence thing, we need a business resource center. This is where now practically students will be doing business. Basically, buying and selling things over the counter. We also require graded houses for the teachers. Again, as you know, there has been a lot of challenges, especially with the expanded student number, and we require 5 more units. Still in the CBC, we require art studios and music centers. I think the modern library has been mentioned by the principal. We also require a swimming pool as part of the new CBC. Science laboratories, I think the principal has also mentioned. So those are the requirements of the school. They are huge. And I think, as the principal said, with our concerted effort, a lot can be achieved. To conclude my speech, I would like to thank the current and former leaders, especially the MPs. You remember the former MP, Honorable Duale, has done a wonderful job there. He has really invested in this school. The current MP is also doing a wonderful job. And in fact, we appreciate him also because after few weeks he's with us, and he knows what the challenges in the school. And he has already sponsored a huge project. So we thank them for the work they have done, and I'm sure they will continue supporting us. I think with that, I want to thank you all for your time. It's not been easy bringing together this team, but this is the beginning, as you said earlier, and I think we will be together to see this school develop. So you're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mohammed. Now I want to call, now before I call him, I want to recognize Dr. Kainan, the immediate CEO of Coast Development Authority, who I'm told also is a member of the BOM. And then Mohammed Sabul, EU representative, EU, wapi mute EU? Yuko hapa. Anatafuta kitu ngine mimi nasikia. Now it's my pleasure to invite someone who mentored many of us. Many years back, he came to our school, I think when I went in 1975, if I'm not wrong, when I was a Form 2. And he was also the deputy headmaster, head principal of the school. He suspected me one time on the 6th of June, 1977. He suspected me for misbehaving, and he told me to go home and come with my parents before any appropriate action, before any disciplinary action appropriate to my behavior in this school. And that is none other than Ma'al Idris Mohammed Farah. I want him to come here in front and say a word or two to his former students, because all these other students and all these other teachers are byproduct of the hard work which he has put to mentor all of us to be what we are today. Maalimu karibu.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. You know, when I stand here, I am so happy that I cannot even talk. It was said, and I assure you it is true. A parent, a father, he only likes when he is told your son is better than you. Any other person, you will not want to be told he is better than you. Whether you are a politician, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a businessman, the only time when you will be happy is when you are told your son is better than you. And I have seen it. Why am I happy? Today when I was told, not today, 2 weeks ago, when I was told there will be an alumni association for Garissa High, and we want you to be there, I said, what value will I add to my coming to your gathering? I don't think I will add any value. But again, on a second thought, I thought maybe as an old person, as a person who has health condition, maybe my presence here and seeing you as either one of my students or either as a product of my students, because those of you, majority of you, maybe I have not taught you, but the ones I have taught you. And I have no doubt I will go back to my house in a better health condition than I came here. Thank you very much, because you have given me a lifespan. let me assure you, apart from being shy to turn away your request, maybe I will say one or two things here. When you talk, when you read, you know we will not invent the wheel. The wheel we will not reinvent, because everything has been said before. Even our religion, the Prophet said, Man lam yashkurin nasa, lam yashkurillah. If you do not thank the people, you will not thank God. Because if we do not thank the people who have made this difference to your being what you are, whether parents, whether all teachers. Last time when we went to Garissa High School and we were launching the alumni, although it might not have taken it as we wanted, but at least we launched. Njue, Mr. Njue was with me. I don't know whether he's here today. Mr. Njue is the one who received me 1975 when I was posted to the school. I only taught for a short period, Alidina Visram, for 3 months when I was on half pay, because that is the first time the lot from Kenya Science were posted on half salary. Previously, they used to go for teaching practice within Nairobi, within Kiambu, but that very year, the end of 1974, we were posted 1st January to a school full-time to teach 3 months on half pay, and I was posted to Alidina Visram. That one has given me an eye-opener, because Alidina Visram was a school where the majority were Asian children, Singh and Indians, people who are very committed. The teachers were equally Asian, majority of them. And that 3 months have given me something which lasted with me. And whatever little input I have given to you, I gave credit to Alidina Visram, apart from Kenya Science, my tutors, who are majority of them Swedes. So, what I was saying is, Njue received me, and I happened to be the first local teacher there, where the teachers used to tell me afterwards when I was a headmaster, this man is not supervising the students, he's supervising us. Of course, a headmaster, a principal has to supervise the others. It is a right, it is a role. It is not something which is to be compromised. But what I was doing was, I was telling the teachers, these children, these Somali children, they were children those days. Osman Sheikh Abdi, the former Qali, Hassan Sheikh, Ismail, the pioneers. They were children, but when the catchment area is local, you have problem. This Anjera business, these mothers coming, those were our undoing. If you talk of SWOT analysis, there is strength, there is weakness, there is opportunity, there is threat, isn't it? The threat was the local people. Inbreeding, people who are going out of school all the time. Now, today, this school is a national school. And the strength is, you have people who are not coming from the locality. I hope, principal, where is he? You have people who are coming not from the locality. They don't have to go and look for Anjera. I am sure that is why your result is better than few years back. Although we have had a draw in between, this school had always a good name. I remember people telling Mr. Umar Shafara, Allah Yarahema, and the rest, I want my child to go to Idris school. It was not my school, but the name tag was said Idris school. You know, all of you. That school was very small. The leadership had lesser problem than you have today. The population of that school cannot be compared what it was, but all the same, the opportunity today is you have people who are coming beyond the locality. And those people, I'm sure they are motivated. They might have gone to primary schools which are better than ours, even if they are coming from neighboring Tana River or wherever, or even elsewhere. So that opportunity, we must use it properly. The weaknesses I have said could be our environment. Those of the strength again today could be, the opportunity could be, look at the people sitting in this high table. Look at the people sitting all around. You are talking of a minister. I'm very happy when I'm told I have taught a minister. Du'ala, congratulations to you. I'm happy when I have taught a minister. Fai, congratulations to you. I have seen a new appointment where you are appointed a chairman of the livestock areas. I am sure you will not sleep on the job. When I'm saying you are happy when you are told your child is better than you, I am happy when you people are flags. Don't think that we are not happy. We may not tell you, but inside there, how many ministers are there in this country? When we have one of you as a minister, don't take it lightly. When we have one of you as a governor, and particularly when you are being told he was the teacher of a governor, he was the teacher of a minister, he was a teacher of an MP, can you imagine how happy you will be? Me, I've had the opportunity in the Ministry of Education, 11 years in Jogo. I happened to be a board member of Alliance High School for many years because some of our children were there, mine were there. So when I was a board member, and again I was in the ministry, I had the opportunity to sit in that board. Sometimes PTA representative because our children were there. And I know what a board, what an alumni can do. Let me tell you. I was going to say it, but you have said already here. I was going to say, why should we be putting small buildings all around? When I went there, I was told this one was built by Honorable Dual. This one was built by Honorable Dual. Why should it not be a giant building which can last centuries beyond our existence? When I was in Alliance board, the PTA is the one which is fundraising, and then they will hand over to the board to implement. Look at the way it is different. You cannot be the one collecting and spending. You collect, you give to the board, and they will account for it. Alumni, you will collect the money, you will give to the board. The board is different, although they are all our people. And then the alumni will follow. Where is our money? What is there? Injua will have told you if he was here. The day we were fencing Garissa High School, 1976, the local government, our county, it used to be county council. Some of you know it. They were up in arms. They say, why enclose all this area, all this rig? We went through the rig. just to carve, we knew there will be a future. There will be a future when Garissa High School will want to have structures which can last beyond our existence. And if it were not for the PC of that time, who was also knew what will happen, that area would have been given to people. Up to now, there are titles which are being held within the school. But thank you very much, Minister and the Governor. Protect what is ours, all of us, is only the institutions. Everybody has his own house. Everybody has his own child. But what we share are the institutions. If you don't protect what is all ours, we will not be meeting like we are meeting today. So the same for the university. Honorable Duale knows. The university, when it was flooded inside the prison river, I am proud. I went to the ministry and told them there is no need to waste more money on areas which is now flooding. 30% of the buildings were ready, 30 million was spent. But I told them we have to stop, and we went where we are. That time there were manyatas there. Manyatas are movable houses. When we went with the Chinese, we were having ash in a gunia and in a tirika. In the bush, we were saying, Pitisha Hapa, Pitisha Hapa, Pitisha Hapa. People were saying, these people are crazy. What is all this area for a college? We knew it would not be college. Today it is university. And I'm sure you will need land beyond that. What is the benefit of university compared to a college? College was what we were building, but we knew, because we read, we hear, we know where Kenyatta University was, Kenyatta College. But now it's university. I will take your time if I have to talk. Please, please, opportunity is yourselves. All of you are holding. When your words can mean something, do something for the people. You can put a structure. Duale has done his part. But instead of crowding small buildings all around, let every look at the Alliance, look at Lenana. Every dormitory is on its own, on a way. It has its own dining hall. It is all internal thing. They can only meet during the assemblies. They are independent. They have their own dining halls. They have their own management. And we are not different. We have the land. Please do that. I am very happy because I have said about the sizes of the lands. Even today is not there. Your grandchild will see that Garissa High School area is too small. They will see the university area is too small. But we can only do what we have to do ourselves and leave the rest for posterity. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Macalinka wuu jubboode. He has seen his old boys and he has reconnected with us and he is very emotional. Thank you very much, Malimu. Now I want to call briefly Ma'al Harun, CEO Nakonek, for 2 minutes because the guest of honor is rushing to another function so that he can launch this association before he leaves. So.
Thank you, Mr. Ibrahim. In the name of Allah, the compassionate, the merciful, praise be to Allah. Before I dissolve this assembly, I wish to welcome, as a way of reconnecting with my learners during their time, I wish to recognize Super Waziri Mheshimiwa Duale, the Governor Garissa County, Mheshimiwa Ilmi, Ma'alim Idris, who was our mentor for all of us, Malima Abdullah, who was my high school principal, and Dr. Kainan, who was also very special to me, and all boys and everybody who began the school. Mine is to maybe thank the organizers of this event, Mheshimiwa, the area MP, Mheshimiwa Deko, to thank the organizers of this event for bringing us together, at least to reflect and recollect back during our time. Very important. And the second thing is, in how can we also give back to the school and to the community is something very present in our mind. During my time, Mheshimiwa Duala was area MP. I wish to recognize him for the effort he has done, mainly in three main areas. Number one was the protection of the school land, because there were a lot of grabbers who had interest in the school, and if it were not for his effort, a lot of things would have gone wrong. And the second one is that he has pushed 30 million infrastructure under the program called, at the time, the stimulant program, and 25 million again for the infrastructure, and the 5 million from the American group that did the water. And my biggest challenge in the school were three things. One was water, the other one was the kitchen and toilets. You know, these boys, you build toilets, they use during the day, during the night, they visit other places. So Duale helped me deal with the issue of water, and today I dealt with the issue of the kitchen. And the other one that I would like to maybe to mention is that Mahmoud has mentioned, Malim Mahmoud has actually mentioned that I gave them a donation of steam cooking equipment. That thing is not an ordinary Jiko. It is a climate friendly, a carbon asset infrastructure. It's an equipment that brings 4 ministries together: education, energy, environment, national treasury, and the Aegis office. It is an equipment that is supposed to reduce carbon emission in the school. It deals with the Gideri for 45 minutes. Tea is 15 minutes. It has three main components. One is the use of the energy. It can be able to use energy possible. It can use gas. It can use firewood. It can use electricity. And it can also use solar. My biggest request is to request Mheshimiwa Duale to make sure that His Excellency has given a directive for gas transition to schools by the year 2025, and this is the year. So we want him to visit that particular project for it to go to the limelight. So what it does is that Garissa High School has about 2,000 learners. So that equipment will reduce 0.5 ton of carbon per child per year. And I'm targeting 10 million learners in Kenya. And it is Mr. Duale who's going to negotiate G2G, and he's going to give us the carbon credit. So it's an income generating project for the entire country. My estimate is that if we cover now the 10 million learners, which are divided across schools, Mheshimiwa Duale will have an income of 1.1 billion USD just for about the equipment alone. So I think that is one thing I would like to stress that His Excellency visits. And then I have Dr. Kainan stand up. Kainan is a consultant in my office with carbon experts. He's the man now who's going to measure the credits, and he's going to give the real figures, such that by the time we're tabulating, I did it for 6 pilot schools. One was Nairobi School, Garissa High School, Mororo Secondary. Where is my student from Tana River? You know, this one was my student. And where is Abdul Umar? He was also my student. He was a house captain, but he never used to submit the list of those who used to fail in cleaning the houses. Ma'alim Mahmoud, the current principal, I was his class prefect. I also have my captain, Abdul Nur. Abdul Nur was my captain. I recommended Mahmoud for suspension. He's the one who cancelled. So it's a very important time. I would like to maybe thank Mheshimiwa Duale for all the effort he has done. Mheshimiwa Nadif, I know he's somebody also very willing to support the school and for supporting this particular event. Labda yeye tumpatie sasa amalizana na ukuta. Hiyo wall hiyo. Oh, hiyo inaisha. Mimi sina habari. Thank you very much. So maybe now I would like to mention something very important mentioned by the board chairman. This is an era of technology. Those of you who are IT experts, Garissa High School, all boys, please. I want us to convene. I'm ready to be a convener, so that we can go back and sit and see how we can support the school in terms of technology. I think Mahmoud, the CEO of HAS, used to be very short, you know, so that's why I never appointed him to be a class prefect, because he was too tiny. Yeah, in a small group, it was 6 inches. He's an expert. You can convene all the IT group. I can sponsor the first sitting. We want to invest in technology in Garissa High School. To support the MP, I would also like to thank Mheshimiwa Deko. He is somebody very present in the education sector, somebody also who is following the footsteps of Mheshimiwa Duale, because Mheshimiwa Duale was very key on matters education. Thank you very much. Governor Nadif, I wish to recognize you and your cabinet, but you left my former, one of your ministers, who was a captain for the school, Mohammed Hussein Mohammed. You'll have also been here. Otherwise, I would like to thank all of you, Mheshimiwa. I would like to recognize also in the fight of the school land grab, there were 2 people very important and are here, Mohammed Ibrahim Abdullahi and Abdi Maulud Abdi. Those are the people now who also supported the MP to make sure that Garissa School remains intact as it was left by Mheshimiwa Mwalimu Idris. He did the fence in 1976, I did the second fence in 2000. So, and today that land is intact. We can be able to use it for whatever we can. Although Mwalimu say that it's still too small, but it can still give us a lot of support. Mwalimu, Dr. Dabar was also my board chair during my time and supported me a lot. Thank you very much, Mwalimu. And the other, I cannot be able to reach all of you by name. There's also somebody I want to recognize, Ahmed Abdul Nur. This is the longest serving bazaar of the school. He was a product of the school. He finished in 1983, and he actually became the bazaar up to 1992. Somebody he was part of the history of the school. Where is Mr. Kamau? Kamau, although he's not an old student, but that guy is part of the history of the school. Thank you very much. I would like to welcome Mheshimiwa to take over. Thank you.
Thank you. You see, when walimu wakija hapa, they are very passionate about their job, so they get emotional. So let's not be Mal Harun and Mal Idris. Now I want to call for 1 minute Honorable Mohammed Ibrahim Elmi Fai, former minister in Northern Kenya. This guy was the only student from Wajir in our class. So he was somebody we were treating very well because he was a foreigner.
Assalamu alaikum. I'll just use 1 minute. Alumni, assalamu alaikum. I just want to say one thing that happened to be in Garissa that has been lost in our society. So meritocracy and helping each other. First time I never went to school. The students told the headmaster said, come next time. I was put on a Jomo Kenyatta Foundation. Today, and he is Alexander Karafunjue, tell me which headmaster will do that. Very few. The other thing, my headmaster, Mal Idris, when I wanted to go to college to do interviews, he gave me money. I went all the way to Mombasa. I don't want to say the amount. That money was a lot of money. And he directed me which course. I got many places, but he directed me to the one he thought will help the community well. Now, our society is becoming this global thing of we want to get it all now. Our governance is done because of clanism, a whole range of things. So in addition to thinking about buildings in the school, we should mentor our young people to start becoming hardworking. Our young people don't even wash their clothes these days. Immediately they finish. I mean, we have a serious social problem, which I want us to take up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fai. We can guess how much he gave him, Al Idris. If our school fees was 150 shilling per term, well, it was 450 shillings for a whole year, our school fees. So you can guess how much Maalim was giving him as transport. So I now take this opportunity to invite the MP for Garissa Township, the Honorable Major Dego, who is very passionate about this Alumni Association and development of Garissa High School, to come and give his remarks and continue with the rest of the program.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our chief guest, Waziri Adan Duale, our Governor Nadif Jama, Member of Parliament for Bura, who has joined us today, who is also an alumni of the school. All protocol observed. I will say ladies and gentlemen, but I think the ladies have left. Once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm very happy to join you on this occasion of launching Garissa High School alumni. I'm not an alumni of the school, and I think I'm the only stranger in this room. And Ali Idris is also with us here. So I'm happy to have joined it. This alumni, when Markan Sal Iso, when I was very new member of parliament, 2 months old, is when we started talking about it. This is now 2 years down the line is when we are launching. In fact, when I told Waziri Duale we are launching this alumni association, one of the comments he made is that for the last 2 years you've been talking about this thing. Why you keep on talking and telling me about alumni, and you're not actioning these statements? So I'm happy that today we gathered here to launch this alumni. Marmarna markan aan fiiriyo maseer ahaan baa ku jireen alumni-gan because when we started talking to them about it, and then the girls started theirs, but they were very fast. They overtook these gentlemen. So after they have seen, and I had invited Honorable I am Salah to join us for the launch of NEP Girls Alumni, is when this your organization now started coming up and started afresh talking about it. So the reason why we are here is to launch, not only to launch this. We don't just want to launch and then leave it as it is. We have intention to use your people of the alumni to develop a network for the school, so that those of you who have benefited from who built your foundation out of Garissa High School can give back to the society, can give back to that school. Those of us who had an opportunity to go to other schools other than our schools, as Ma'al Idris has just said, I went to a school called Lenana High School. And those guys are so proud of, those who went through that school, are so proud of that school, that we are, even me as an individual, we are sponsoring through those alumni, students to that, for those who are going to that school, who are not able to afford. So we had an opportunity as members of the Northern Kenya, because when you look at this room, and you look at the faces that are in this room, the leadership that is in this room in terms of both private and public sector, I am sure you can do a lot with the network you have and the offices you occupy. Let us use this opportunity to empower our people. When we went to those national schools, to be honest with you, we had a lot of stigma associated with us. Even going, it was an issue. We used to hide, because it was something, they were finding it very strange. So our young people and the weather itself again. When you come from a village in northern Kenya and you end up in such schools, it becomes very difficult. And some of us who had to run away of those schools, go back to schools in northern Kenya. Can we use our offices and the opportunities we have and the networks we have to change the face of Garissa High School? Out of the meeting we had, NEP girls, they have now, when they went to all the offices here, because this one is starting before the other one is complete. So the ladies there were complaining, these people are now going to take the processes we wanted to take from some of these leaders who are here. So they have secured funding out of the national program, government programs, almost 7 projects, big projects. A library sponsored by Isli Business Community, a big library, one-story building. We have a mosque that is going to be done, and the guy we went to said he will build the mosque of the century for NEP girls, including madrasas and everything. And you have seen the young man who started for us, the young boy who was speaking Arabic here. That is what is in all those secondary schools. So that even you, the environment that your kids will be learning, by the way, it affects the outcome. The environment of learning will affect the outcome of those. So we want all of you who are in leadership to take their kids to Garissa High School in the future. Because you know the environment is good, the infrastructure is there, the teachers are there. We want the kids that come out of that school to be proudly be saying, I am from Garissa High School. The way everybody, when they talk, they say, the alliance. There are many leaders who are in that parliament, they keep on mentioning alliance, the alliance, the alliance. So we want that to happen for our students from that region. They have a dormitory that I'm going to put up. There is a dining hall sponsored by a Somali businessman. You can imagine. There is a home science which Honorable Douala has facilitated. He's going to do it from its own networks. We have a computer lab that is being sponsored by Mr. Harun, who is there. So all this, we want to replicate it in Garissa High School. So with all those remarks, may I say thank you for coming. May I request you, we have been mentioning CEOs here. The reason why we are mentioning the name CEO, Ina Isfantin, Inika CEO. We are not just mentioning the name. We have not mentioned everybody, but the name CEO was kept on popping up. Even Gawasco CEO was mentioned. So there is a reason for being, we are mentioning the names and the titles. So please take your space, use your offices to facilitate better programs for this school. Let Garissa High School exist. By the way, I had people talk about the land issue. We still have those challenges. There are people who are still interested in cutting off some space of the school. And some of them have even had the audacity to come to me and tell me, can you cut for us this, and we'll pay the school some money. Yeah? So that is where we are, Somalis. Every space available, they want to take it. Let me take this opportunity to invite Honorable, sorry for the many remarks. Duale keeps on telling me, well, Nongianga Sana, please, you are talking. So, Honorable Bura, MP, Honorable Yaqub Adow, who is an alumni of the school. By the way, those of you who are from GSS, this gentleman, when we went to the NEP Girls School, his wife was also an alumni of NEP Girls. She pushed him to that school. And on that day, he praised your mama na your msichana. And at the end of the day, he gave out a lot of money he pledged in that whatever. We want to hear that pledge here again.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think my name and my constituency has been misspelled or said not in a correct manner. So my name is Yaqub Adow Kuno. I'm the MP for Bura. I represent the people of Bura constituency in Tana River County. and an alumni of Garissa High School. I was in Garissa High School from 2004, Form 1, and until 2007. And it's a school that's very close to my heart, very close to my heart indeed, because it is part of my history. It is a school that has taught me that nothing on this earth is impossible. Because when I finished primary, in Bengal Primary, I scored a marks that could not even buy a packet of unga. But when I went to Garissa High School, and the marks was displayed for the students who are joining Garissa High School, it was easier to find my name from the bottom. And if I remember, there was only one student who scored less than what I scored in KCPE. But when I went to Garissa High School, I saw the culture is different, and I tried my level best. And guess what? When I finished my high school, I was the third best student in Garissa High School, and I scored an A-. I scored an A- in 2007, and from that I propelled, never looked back. I went to Kenyatta University, got my degree in economics. I did my master's in MBA finance, and I'm also a certified public accountant. And I'm also a certified public accountant. I'm a member of ISPAC as we speak today. So that is the background from Garissa High School. I want, because we are rushing for a function, I want to recognize 3 people, because it's good to praise somebody while he's still alive. We don't need to recognize somebody when he has already gone before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want to recognize my brother and friend, Muhammad, is called Mehdi. That young man is the person who, Makofi yake please. He works for Garissa County. He has held my hand. I was among the people who are referred to as foreigners, like the MC has Mheshimiwa said. Because I'm from Tana River, the only place I could go and get my supper to change at least diet from Githeri was to go to his mom at Bulatetu, and that's where I called home in Garissa. And next to him is also Osman Godat. He was our head boy. He's taught at Wapi Makofi yake head boy. Those are my colleagues, and also Faro is next to them. Those are my colleagues. He was our head boy during our time, and he used to speak very good English. He used to say very awkward and embarrassing situations. That is the famous word that he used to say. I want to recognize my principal, Mr. Muhammad Ibrahim, Wapi Makofi Malimu, and my principal, Mr. Harun, the CEO Nakonek. Wote wawili, Mr. Muhammad Ibrahim was my principal from 2004 to 2007, and then 2007 I was joined, and the school was the school got a new principal by the name Mr. Harun. It's a school that I can look and write a whole book about it, for sure. And I can speak until the day ends, because it is a school that has shaped me, that has made me who I am. And it is that school that I have came to realize that nothing is impossible, for sure. Secondly, that hard work has no substitute. You must work hard. There is no option about it. Mheshimiwa Duale is the person, as a first-time member of parliament by then, he came to Garissa High School, and he gave me the first bag to go to university. And he was awarding all the best performing students. Wapi Makofi ya Waziri. I joined him in Bunge, and I think he has also given me the mantle of leadership again to become the next majority leader in National Assembly. The sky is the limit. Let us work together. I am ready and available to support the school where we can. That is one thing we are sure that we have the ability today, and God has given us to give back to the society. And we are doing wonderful things to transform and lead our people. As an alumni of Garissa High School, today I'm sponsoring close to 50 students in Garissa University and Garissa Teachers Training College who are pursuing dig education. And I'm also sponsoring students who are doing nursing courses and medical courses. That is a product of Garissa High School. Mungu atuwezeshe tukutane Jannatul Firdaus inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaykum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Honorable Addo, thank you very much. Yaqub Addo, if you had not gone for the grade to Mehdi's home, as Ma'anu Idris has just said, you'll have scored an A. So Mehdi uliharibu kupeleka kijana kwenu. Now, I just want to say something. Last year, Garissa High School had registered 252 students for the examination. Out of that, 193 have scored C plus and above. That means direct to the university. Then we had 47 who scored C, then 12 C minus. That means there was no D, D plus, and D minus in the last entry. There's a time I went for a military recruitment in northern Kenya, and all those who stood up, who came up were, when you ask Uliskonin, they used to say D Blaine, D Blaine, D Blaine. Now that is the name they gave me in during the recruitment process with the other military officers tulikuwa now. They used to call me D Blaine because all our young people who came for recruitment had scored D Blaine. So this time we had no D Blaine, whether D or D minus in Garissa High School. I now take this opportunity to invite our governor, His Excellency Nadif Jama, Governor Karibu. I am going to sponsor a 3-story building in that school. Whenever I attend a function with the governor, I tell him we are going to compete on the projects we are going to do in those institutions. So Governor, umesikia, I am going to sponsor a 3-building story from Garissa, for Garissa High School. Game kwako, kazi kwako sasa. Nawe usema yako hapo. Asante sana.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد. السلام عليكم. I will make it very brief because I know there are other very important functions also waiting for us, both myself and Waziri. But I must say that I'm extremely honored. يعني في صومالي أدان كويرة هذلو شرف أد أوين بيئت هاي مانتا إن كسو قبل كلا حفلة. رنهانتي when I was told about this function by the organizing committee, I immediately took up the privilege of supporting and sponsoring the same. And actually my comment to my brother Ibrahim and Chairman Elias was that actually this is long overdue. It's a great thing to do, and therefore I wish to take this opportunity, first of all, to congratulate the organizers for bringing us together. And I'm equally I'm really happy to see these great faces from that great institution, including or starting with our own Maalim Idris, and of course my own classmates. I must mention that. In fact, صوركي mention لكني it gave me nostalgia. ما بقيس لهن أساسا هو أكيد وحن ربي لها هذا ماشاس هذا رجع ماشا كجري وهرتقار وي تجين الله ونحرسته أنت أنا سهرنا وإحنا ملينا يا we need another photo بنا إبراهيم to compare ourselves really with what we look like. But what I want to say, and I'm not going to belabor what has already been said. There are 3 issues I want just to mention very quickly. This is a great initiative. Let us keep up with this. I don't know, the organizers, the committee will tell us, will this be an annual or biennial function, but it must continue to be held. Number 2, I want to call, if this is going to be allowed, for the next function to be held in Garissa. Meshas and Skuguimano Garissa, you tell us, I think the earliest possible, Chair and the team for that matter, halka seito and kusameino fundraising ki propaga for the school. marka ani iyo majadeeqow nin kala shindhayn doona markaasaan is ogaan doonaa. Aniga hadda maanta waxayga ma sheegay, but I'm committed to support the school because as was rightly said by everybody who spoke before me, anigu meeshaas hadday ahayn meel baanan gaari lahaynba ilaahay fadligiis. And number 3, what I want to suggest is inaad noo hagaajisiin the alumni network, or for that matter a register. Hadda waxaa sheegteen inaan nahay almost 11,800. That's a great number. Each of those, ninki noole, he can contribute something, even $1 to the school. I think you need that network to be formed and also an account to be established for the alumni so that they contribute. Kan dibadda jiro, kan local ka joogo, in nin kasta uu soo halgaado wuxuu kari karaa. That would be a great thing, and that's how actually institutions are built. Finally, my strong suggestion, Chairman Ilyas, Ibrahim, my strong suggestion is we must write the history of this school. This is a great institution. Taarikh weyn buu leeyahay, taarikh maarta aad u ballaaran buu ka tega, maarta ayuu leeyahay. Let's write a history covering everybody who matters, and indeed people like hadda anigu hadda inaan aad u sheegay marabi, laakiin ninka la dhahay Njue oo hadda magaciisa meesha lagu sheegay maalin dharbaxa uu ugu dhuftay ilaa hadda ma iloobanaya. Aya bite waa waa nilimchenga chega kidogo asoo iraadinay. Marka waxa weeyaan institutionka Macallim Idris is here. I mean, there are a lot I could say about Macallim Idris so maartay, laakiin hadda ilaahay khair iyo caafimaad iyo cumri ha noo siiyo. Let's write this history, and I don't mind supporting that historical masterpiece that should be written of this school. A great institution from 1969, wax oo dhow ma aha schoolkan uu soo jiri jiray, aan qorno taariikhdiisa aan iskaga imaano. Finally, I want to say that kulankan dambe oo lagu lacagta aan ku aruurinayno noo soo dejiya, because there are so many things mentioned, and I think after this launch, let's move quickly to call for that fundraising forum earliest possible so that we can now embark on the development requirements of the school. Well, Mahasantin, once again, thank you very much for all of you who attended. Marka haddana, let me take this honor to invite and welcome our Waziri. Asanteni sana. Wa Mahasantin, thank you very much. Sorry, before Waziri, I wanted to really, Anaga, I'm a banker by profession. Forget about these politics which will come to an end. But being a banker, I really wanted my colleague Abdi, who represents the banking fraternity here in this hall, and also who I think should be talking on behalf of the CEOs, but probably Waziri will invite him. He should have said a word or two, because they are also very, very important, and we expect him, together with his colleagues, to be also contributing well to the development of the school. Well, Master, thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. I have asked the CEO of ABSA that in our next meeting we will have a small meeting of all the CEOs, Osman Duale, and there are many CEOs here for lunch and other people. But on the onset, I want to thank everybody. First, I want to thank the governor, Mheshimiwa Ibrahim Salat, the chairman, Major Deko. They really pushed me. They told me, give us a date. And because of the first meeting we had in Garissa, I was a bit hesitant. Because we had a meeting of the Old Boys Association, where Ma'alin Idris attended, where Njue attended. But these many good people were not there that time, very few of us. Then they opened a WhatsApp group. Then the WhatsApp group became a WhatsApp group of negative forces. Until I told them, you close it. We are not helping the school, neither are we helping ourselves. But today I am seeing a different environment. And I am so proud because who is who? I do know there are many, everybody here I know. But I never thought they went through Garissa High School. Whether we are ministers, whether we are CEOs, whether we are businessmen, private sector CEOs, former members of parliament, our former principals, led by Ma'an Idris, Abdullahi, Abdul Mawlid, Harun. Those are the ones who I worked with when I was a member of parliament. And they know the history of that school. I think why we were called here is only one reason. That we trace back our history, and God has blessed us, trace back our history and make a contribution to those of our brothers who are now in those schools. That is the reason why we are here, both in kind, in modeling, in making sure they follow our footsteps. And we thank Almighty Allah for giving us an opportunity to go to Garissa High School, to have been taught by great teachers like Ma'an Idris and all the rest who are here. And today we are where we are. So, and that is how Alliance, today Kapsabet is one of the best. It is because of the former students. Alliance High School is the same. Mangu High School, the same, Alliance Girls. Even those of us who are sitting here, if we take just once in a month, 5 of you, 10 of us, to go and even tell those Form 4 classes and Form 2 and Form 3 and the new system that, my friend, I am here because I passed through Garissa High School. That will motivate that young boy. We have generals and major generals and colonels and brigadiers who passed through Garissa High School. Some of them sitting here. We have top CEOs, both in the public and in the private sector, who have passed through Garissa High School. We have very prominent businessmen who have passed through Garissa High School. We have former leaders, members of parliament, who have passed through this school. We have people who are working with the donor world who have passed through this school. With the people running our devolved units as chief officers, as CECs, passed through that school. I think we can make a lot of contribution. That is why we are here. And I am ready to walk the walk with you people. And Ma'an Harun, I am ready. We are planning the trip of the president to northern Kenya. I am ready to make sure as he passes that highway, going anywhere, I'll tell him to go into Garissa High School. So that even him, because Mangu High School was built because President Kibaki was a student of Mangu High School. When he became a president, he gave them 500 million. Because my son went there. President Uhuru is the one who transformed Kenya High School. Those of you who have daughters, you have got, you know how Kapsabet High School has been transformed because President Ruto was a student there. So even me, I must now use this office to transform that school. And how I will do is, I will take the president there so that he can commit 200, 300 million on that day. Nadif said about Njue, but you know, I asked some of his classmates. Majima Elmi, he said, Nadif used to, Zaid Ubehjiri. Giderida, and I was like him. I was also like him. Ma'an Idris can confirm. The only crime I used to commit was in the evening I used to go to Garissa Ndogo to go and eat some chapati with my mother. So Hali Nadif, was Ibrahim hata marbu usha ka xoogay macallin Idris. You know, even you know we should talk about how our life in school. macallin duceeri mar Ibrahim oo qaraac rabo. Wuxuu usha iga xoogay. Ibrahim waxaan ku dhahay no wonder you are even at this level hada ta waki changumu kidogo bado. So this is a very, very good meeting. And I'll give you an example. When I was writing my book, I said, now can I give Boys Town, Garissa High School, Moi Force Academy, Moi University? Of all the places I had a lot to write about was Garissa High School. Then I said, unless I consult Ma'an Idris and sit with him, then maybe my story will not be. He can come up tomorrow and say, no, what is in this book? Some things. And you know, Ma'an speaks, he's a straight shooter. So I made very minimal comments about my life in Garissa High School. But let me tell you, now I look back, and I did the same to my children. I'm coming back to now modeling and your children, because we're also parents here. There are three groups of people who modeled my life to where I am today. And one of them is Garissa High School under the leadership of Ma'an Idris. Ma'an Idris was a very serious disciplinarian. You know, at night he used to walk, and you find him. And he knows your voices. And in the morning, in the assembly, he picks you. Those of you are sitting here, and he'll tell you, so and so and so, I know what you said last night, come to my office. Even at night, in the dark, those days even there was no power. So he of the many things, he taught me that discipline is very important. My mom and some of my brothers taught me, Allah Rahmah, taught me discipline. And when I became a politician, the people who taught me political hygiene, when I was new, I found Kibaki as a member, President Kibaki as a member of Odaya. The late Michuki, the late Olentimama, the late George Saitoti, the current president. These are the people who taught me also how, what is called political hygiene and how to survive in politics. And even the former prime minister, who I joined his party. And each one of them, I borrowed something. So life is a learning curve. Even today, as we sit here, we are learning. So these young people, they need a lot. One time I introduced, and I'm just finishing, one time I introduced a system in Garissa. And I think whether it was during the Abdi Maulid or Al Abdullahi, where we said, let us bring the principles of the top schools, Alliance, Kenya High, Alliance Girls, Alliance Boys, Mangu. We paid for everything. They went and talked to our form force. And that's why Garissa High School is very unique. All these principals sitting here. And today I'm so happy there's no D in Garissa High School this year. That's the exams. So we are coming to celebrate a success. But Garissa High School has produced 11,000 former students. Those of us who were 11,000, am I right? So 11,000, some of the members of parliament, they don't win even with 11,000 votes. If I was a politician today, and I really want to thank many people sitting here also hold my hand when I was looking for votes. I want to thank you. You know, I had no opportunity to thank you. But in my 18 years in politics, many people sitting here, they use their money, they use their votes of their families. So we must pay back to it. I didn't know my elder here is 001. You know, when I went to my forces, is where I went after I left Garissa High School. And I was in that school with the likes of Anwai Guru and many, many people. That time it was mixed. Now it's only boys' schools. But as a country, In fact, let me announce, and we must, you see now, we want people for action. Absa Bank, under the leadership of our brother, and you need to read the history of Abdi. Abdi was a teller in Garissa Barclays Bank. Those of you who know him, how many were served by Abdi? As a teller. And Abdi rose not only in Kenya, he was the CEO in Tanzania, in many African countries. And one night he narrated his story when he was the CEO of, was it Bakr Absa in Tanzania? Tanzania, we were bored, so me and the president were bored, so Abdi came and joined us. So Abdi asked, give me your history. And the president said, you are a true hustler. When Abdi told him how he was from a teller, he reached, and where he goes, the banks becomes number one. We from Garissa, we must be proud of our son. We must be proud of all these people sitting here who are holding key. Soomaalida ceebteeda waxaa weeye qofkeeda ugu fiican ma sheegto. Mention there are people who was young guys who are sitting here, who are working in the Auditor General's office, Controller of Budget, National Treasury, the CEO of Commission for Revenue Allocation is sitting here. He used to be a CEC in our county. Dr. Abe. You know, Dr. Abe was a doctor. Today he's somewhere. Marka, we must celebrate our own. We must celebrate our own. Not only in Garissa High School, but even in Wajir High School, Mandera High School, and the whole country. Abdi has now fully equipped laboratory in Nepgals. He has done it. And he said he is going to do the same for Garissa High School. Can we clap for Abdi? Yeah. So already, Mwalimu wa Garissa High School, you already have a fully equipped computer lab from Absa Bank. And when we go to Garissa, Mashima Ilmi said, in fact, I should have asked today we contribute or pledge. You know, we can raise 50 million here today. What to work on a pesa wako. But because we were not ready, we will do another day. But let me now speak something about. I want to talk to the principal, the current principal, and the board chair and the board members. We can do everything. We can build the infrastructure. We can invest in the hardware. We can invest in the software. But the product that comes out of that school, you are the only ones who can guarantee us. Am I right? Yeah. Why all of us here put? Because we wanted, during our time there was no bursary. There was no bursary, am I right? During our time there were even no people you can compare with in the community. But now we can fix everything, inshallah. But you must assure us that that school next year and the next year, inshallah, we get the best of the best to come. And not only results, we want good moral kids. We must advise our children as teachers, as leaders, both religious, political, business leaders. We must advise our children, our young people, to do the right thing, to have very good moral values. You can have an A and you don't have good moral values. Your child can have an A, but on the other side, he is finished. And I want to ask leaders, more so political leaders, current leaders, and former leaders of our country not to encourage our young people to commit acts of violence. When you stand before young people, our Gen Zs, you must, as a leader, you have a moral responsibility, because all leaders are parents and we lead the country, and you had an opportunity to lead the country. Do not ask young people and encourage them to commit violence. Encourage them to keep peace and stability of our country. I had the opportunity to work with President Kibaki, with President Uhuru, with President Ruto now. President Moi handed over the baton to President Kibaki when Kenya was peace and had stability. President Kenyatta handed over to President William Ruto the country in one piece. We want to ask all leaders, regardless of our political affiliation and differences, let us not encourage our young people, the future of the nation, into acts of violence, into acts of civil disobedience, into acts of lawlessness, into acts that will make them not respect the rule of law in our country. Tana meshan uwada wad garanaysi kolo. I will not ask. I have 5 sons. And I have 5 sons. Let me start with myself. I will ask my sons every day, and even when I was a member of parliament, and our governor will do, that they must respect the constitution. They must respect the rule of law. As also governments respect the rule of law. Those of us who are in power must respect the rule of law and show good example to the young people. All of us together must respect the rule of law. But it is very unfortunate if we, the leaders, current and former, if we set the stage where we tell the young people of our nation to commit acts of violence, acts of disobedience, I think we will lose the moral high ground as parents, as leaders, in fostering peace and stability of our nation. So Garissa High School, I think we are proud of you. We have who is who here, and I think it's now time for prayers. I really want to ask that we pray for our brother. Now we can't make to the janaza, maybe we'll make it to the grave. A very famous political leader from Wajir, many of you know, Abdi Bahalo, brother to Senator of Wajir Abbas. He passed on last night. Those who can make to the graveyard, we will make it. We will ask Allah to grant him Jannatul Firdaus. And thank everybody on behalf of our leadership, Garissa County, our governor, our member of parliament, the school board. They know me, this school board. In fact, what I want to do, let us, and I'm going to provide, even if it is 2 million seedlings, let us plant trees in Garissa High School. Let us plant trees in all our schools. I will provide you now as a minister with 2 million seedlings to all the schools. In Wajir Mandera, we make our schools green. And Major Deko, let me assure you, tell those people, they will never grab Garissa High School. They tried when I was a member of parliament, and I told them I will pay the political price. Now as a minister, they will not. Please tell them, if I send them to me. Yeah. You know, when you meet them, because I have the history, I will look for Abdul Mawlid, I will look for Man Abdullahi, I will look for Harun. We will sit with them, and we'll tell them, look for another place. So we are all happy And I am sure all the people who attended, may Allah bless you all as we go back to our residence.
Now, thank you, Waziri. I think now is time for the Waziri to officially launch. I think Governor, come here, come in front, Ma'al Idris. I will see you. To officially launch the Garissa Alumni Association and Garissa High School strategic plan.
Sound check.